Hello, good evening, and welcome again to the magical world of darkness. Magical world of darkness that will kill you. A lot. I mean, you could be dead on the street with all your blood rushing out of you, but the world of darkness will look at you and say, no, I could do much better. It'll go ahead and take your soul, your very, very spirit, rip it out of you, and then proceed to torture you for a little bit. Whether or not you find yourself in a dystopic ghost hierarchy where you treated as a slave and eventually made a coin, or whether an infernal master decides to pluck your soul from its dead body and torment it to power its infernal machines. The world of darkness is not picky about what will happen to you, just that it must happen to you in any way, shape, or form, that your soul must be desiccated to just a former shadow of itself. What was once a beautiful, lovely little soul is now something that should be pitied more than anything else. But that's all besides the point. We begin the scene within the Euthanatos Chantry. We begin the scene in the Euthanatos Chantry in or at least just outside Jericho's own living quarters, or what used to be his living quarters. The men of the chantry, the associates of Euthanatos, are currently making their rounds across Jericho's rooms. They're switching out the rotations. The heavily armed men are again relieved by more heavily armed men, as it seems to be a battleground of sorts. There is barbed wire. There is little stockades of ammunition. There are definitely big constructions worthy of fortifications within Jericho's room, all around one particular corner of it. One particular very, very Edwardian wardrobe just sits there, very, very nonchalant. It seems to be duct taped. It seems to be chained with many, many chains. It seems to just sit there all by itself, but it carries with it its own menace, its own otherworldliness, its own ethereal charm, you could say. And here is where we begin our scene. Jericho and his Cecil have decided to make yet another excursion into the wardrobe of nightmares, into that dark world that they have seen quite a number of times, have already made quite a number of adventures. We begin the scene there. They have already gone ahead and contacted one Akashi Brotherhood member known as Harold, and as well as one Gabriel Hunt, only that's through the Akashi brother. Seems the brother has gone ahead and, well, at least gotten the trust of the Brotherhood member that he won't instantly die. And he seems to be toting quite a number of different weapons as well as armor to him as well. Kevlar vest, shotguns, they're all readily available at the moment. And here is where we begin our scene, with Jericho looking at the congregated group and saying, all right, people, what do we expect out there, and what do we want?
I
We
mostly want
expect,
not to die.
yeah, agreed. I agree with Gabriel. We expect death, and we want to avoid that. So be sharp, be always on your toes. Remember, these creatures are guided by sound, so don't kill them with extremely well. And he points to the shotguns. Those are only in case of, okay, we are being overrun, shoot everything. I would recommend fire axes, knives, magic.
Will this work? And Gabriel shows his light pistol with a sound suppressor.
Yeah, yeah, it could work. Not a bad idea. Oh, and this. And he will go to one of the corner of the rooms and bring a duffel bag and entrust it to Gabriel. It's one of our own Euthanatos patented duffel bag of death. It has medical supplies.
Good. I should really take that first aid course one of these days.
Yes, it's very useful, a first aid course. And then he will point to one of the side of the rooms, and there is nails, boards, and hammers to barricade shit.
Oh, good. I'm decent with that.
Good. Then he will look at Jericho. The troops are ready, sir.
All right, fair enough. Jericho will simply look at each one of them and says, actually, you say so. There's something you want to do with Harold?
Eyes will open wide and look rather skeptically at Azazel.
And he will look at Harold. What?
Yeah. What are you trying to do?
Enter there, blockade shit, kill shit, make a
No,
summer
to
house.
me. To me.
Oh, to you. Well, Jericho told me that he took a look at you. Have you been feeling different? How is that vibe progressing?
It itches a lot.
He will look at Jericho. You never told me that it itched. A lot.
Well, that's got to be a new symptom that has recently developed.
Oh, for. Okay, sit down. And he points to a chair or something like that. Whatever is
Okay.
available in the room. He will sit. I will kneel before, in front of him, take out his gloves, rub his hand, and start reciting a mantra. And he will do a modification of the prayer of healing revelation from the celestial chorus to try and identify if you have any kind of disease or poison or parasitic infestation inside you.
Okay.
So yeah,
Good luck.
yeah. Here we go. Come on, Paradox, and 2 successes.
Alright. I put in chat what Key had told me.
Yep. You will see that he's very, he's concentrating himself. Chanting and being all that meh. Keep on your stuff while he's doing that.
Harold will grab his bowl of cereal from the counter he put it on and start putting it into his mouth again, as usual.
All right. Well, you gain the insight that was given to you by the above chat. It's up to you to translate that or analyze that or present it to the group if you really want to. But for Jericho's own sake, he'll go ahead and reach into his pocket. The pocket that holds the talisman root. Goes ahead and picks up the key, the silver key, in fact, just for a sake of flair. The silver key that will go ahead and unlock each and every one of the chains that are currently holding the wardrobe completely shut. He goes ahead and walks over it, and you can definitely feel the tension in the air get a little bit more thicker as he goes ahead and clicks one free and unbinds it, clicks another one free and unbinds it, and when he clicks the last one, there's an almost visible shudder within the air as that last lock goes ahead and unclicks. And the wardrobe is more or less free to swing an inch or two open. Jericho just goes ahead and says, do any one of you want to go first, or am I going to enjoy that pleasure?
Well, Azazel will get up. I shall receive Kali's blessings in a while after looking at Harold's leg. Eusano's first, backup second.
If Thanatos first, back up, then the last if Thanatos.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors for the first of us.
Harold will just walk past you guys and go into the closet. Screw you guys. I'm not playing games here.
Harold goes ahead and walks past the two Athanatos as they are currently playing rock, paper, scissors.
God damn it!
And while they're looking at each other quite frustrated at the fact that Kali or Morgan has not given them either one of their blessings, Harold the Akashi Brotherhood just pushes past them, enters the wardrobe, and disappears into the world beyond.
Right. Well, we can't leave him alone, and Gabriel follows.
Yeah, well,
Here.
fuck it. Go you first, and he will start pulling the stuff.
Alright, remember, special knock. Knock, not a knock, knock. Knock, knock. Jericho also disappears into the wardrobe.
He will, as I said, will put all the things inside. Close the wardrobe. Knock, 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 knock. Please don't shoot me.
Alright, and we begin for the scene through time and space, through dimensions innumerable, into the dark world, into the back room of the furniture store. The people here all go ahead and exit the wardrobe one by one. As they exit, they notice that it is a lot colder here for one reason or another. The summer heat of the morning that they had just left leads to a rather more chilly atmosphere. Atmosphere that is unseasonal. An atmosphere that you would probably feel around the New Year's or the Christmas time, the holiday season. It just goes ahead and chills the bone. As Jericho just sort of wraps himself up in his arms going, yep, 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 god damn it. And we were wondering why those bodies didn't decay.
Yeah, you see that Cecil put his coat. He closed it. Fuck.
Right, gentlemen, shall we get started with, how should I put it, making this place into a base of operations?
Agreed.
Yep, sure. You'll notice that in the back room there are several heavy plastic, black plastic bags of what seems to be pieces of other people.
Wait, bags full of body parts?
If you want to say that, yeah.
Oh shit. What?
Jericho goes into his
not
magical
use-
murder. Jericho goes into his magical murder bag, proceeds to produce what seems to be a little bit of a placard, a little bit of a gel inside a cylinder. Goes ahead and scoops a bit of it up and just places it under his nose before donning a surgical mask as well, and just starts to hand it over to people. Morgue stuff.
Yep. As I said, we'll start putting the wooden things, blinds on the door and on the windows. I'm not good at this, so I'm going to leave this here, and then he will also put that kind of weird cream under his nose, and he will actually don a gas mask, and he will follow Jericho.
The paste that you go ahead and put onto the just under the bridge of your nostrils, actually, it's a strong, very strong disinfected smell. For you, it's going to smell a little bit like sour cherries. It's definitely distracting from the overall smell of decay and death, that sour note. but it's not much better either. And you go ahead and start to collect the bits and pieces of carpentry that you've already brought. You quickly realize the task is going to be an extended affair, at least. You realize that there's going to be a few places, at least on the first floor, that need attending to. The back way, the front way as well. There are several other different windows that you can board up. Again, it's going to just take a long, long while.
Yeah. Uh, Gentlemen, when we hammer the planks in, can one of you maybe silence my hammer so it doesn't make too much noise with some kind of magic spell thingy?
He will look at Harold.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Forces to muffle the sound of the hammer.
Yeah.
Boop. 2 successes, so muffle the sound for the scene.
Thank you.
The sound is definitely muffled, and it is muffled for the scene, at least in the Gabriel Hunt's general vicinity, especially for that particular hammer. So, if you want to, you can go ahead and spend your time proceeding to just simply take the loose boards that you were given and proceeding to board this place up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start hammering.
You two, make me extended dexterity and crafts rolls then.
I only have dexterity, so it will be a -1 penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I hate ones.
And I got 2 successes only. 1 success, sorry, because the one.
Okay, on my first roll, I got 1 success. Fucking ones.
Okay. At least in this first 10 minutes or so of work, you don't actually get very, very far. It's mostly dealt with taking apart the planks of wood, finding the appropriate pieces, and then proceeding to fortify the place with the meticulous hammers and nails, duct tape, and glue that you already have. It's gonna take you a while. Jericho and Harold, for their part, Jericho's actually going to take the opportunity to go upstairs, go back to the roof, in fact.
Mm-hmm. Harold will follow, leaving a bag filled with disinfectants and other cleaning chemicals at the door with the bloody floor.
Yep. You notice that the floor remains roughly the same. The door remains roughly the same. Not a lot has changed, actually, but if you could give me a quick perception alertness.
Yes, sir. Yeah, perception 2. A 7.
Okay. 1-7?
Yes.
All right. You go ahead and, from a quick glance, you go ahead and verify that nothing much has changed.
All right. I'll leave the bag there and follow Jericho up.
Okay. Jericho goes ahead and produces another set of keys from his pocket. He seems to be the key master, at least for this particular adventure, as he goes ahead and walks on up to the loft. You'll find that on the second floor there is a plethora of different open windows and other weaknesses that could be easily exploited. And as you look out, you definitely see that the cold breeze seems to be traveling from the second floor down to the first floor, it seems. It's rather an interesting affair. Again, it is unseasonably cold as Jericho proceeds further on up to the loft, the attic of this particular building. The glow sticks having already faded into unusability, obscurity, he goes ahead and produces a few more. And he eventually finds that same ladder and proceeds to walk on up, climb on up, and break open that lock yet again and fly open that door as, from above you at least, small flake of snow actually start descending down on top of you. A lot of what seems to be ice, white ice, that seems dirty for one reason or another, starts to fall out from the trapdoor, hitting Jericho and yourself on the shoulders and, for Jericho at least, the face, as he continues to ascend.
What the hell? It was summer only days ago.
Jericho finally goes ahead and makes that small little bit of a leap to reach the roof. And the roof is much as he last perceived it, except for it's entirely covered in a thin sheet of newly fallen snow. Jericho, for himself, is going to go ahead and take a quick look around. Would you like to perform perception alertness if you're going to survey?
Yes. Bam. 7 and 9.
Okay. Well, you got one up on Jericho. Jericho sees the snow, and nothing much more. You, however, Harold, you begin to notice that other rooftops are similarly covered with this thin sheet of snow. In fact, you quickly realize that the streets are also covered with a bit of snow, but you go ahead and take a closer look, and you begin to notice tracks. Tracks in the snow. Tracks of what seems to be footprints. Tracks that seem to be more animalistic. Tracks that seem to be just bodies sliding over the street. And then something very, very interesting. It seems as if there are vehicle tracks as well.
Okay. I will relay this information to Jericho, obviously, and ask, it was summer only a couple days ago. What the hell?
Jericho will go ahead and look at Harold and simply say, well, maybe the seasons in this world are just a little bit reversed, or just different than they are in Earth.
Maybe time flows differently here. Who knows?
That is possible. Time could work differently. The weather could work differently.
True enough. What do you make of those tracks down there?
Jericho goes ahead and walks over to the tracks as indicated. He looks at all of them and says, okay, the footprints look good. Those other tracks, I don't know. They could be the things that were crawling along the ground last time you guys were here.
Yeah.
As far as for the vehicle tracks, I have no fucking clue.
Where are the vehicle tracks coming from or going towards?
Okay. The vehicle tracks seem to be coming from or going to the same particular direction. It seems as if the vehicle that made these tracks went ahead and skirted along the edges of the furniture store before quickly retreating. And in fact, if you got an investigation, I suggest rolling that as well.
Yes, intelligence investigation that I do not have.
Go ahead and roll it at a -2 dice penalty.
So, single dice. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Well...
Okay. Oh my god, you quickly realize that the car's still here in the area somewhere.
We have to go inside right now. We don't want to be spotted again like last time.
Jericho will just go ahead and take your instructions. He's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, awesome.
And lock the trapdoor just in case.
Yep, go ahead and lock the trapdoor. Alright, for people down below, go ahead and make me another Dexcraft roll. See how far you get this time.
4 successes.
Not far at all in my case.
Okay, it seems like Gabriel Hunt is a little bit more with it, perhaps with his expertise in craftsmanship. Perhaps he's got a little bit of carpentry him. Perhaps he's gone to a few more shelter for the humanity than you have, Asazel. As he goes ahead and starts to actually work on the back door, making it just a little bit more secure, and starts to black out a lot of the other first few windows on this first floor. You get much further than you did last time, but you realize that you're not even halfway to making this place secure. As you hear from above you, at least, slow murmurings, and then what seems like to be a rushing from the top few floors, as again you hear Jericho and Harold running down.
Yep, Azazel will draw the knife, point to Gabriel and go like, shh, and he will set himself on the other side of the stair, ready to strike at whatever is chasing these two young mages.
Harold will actually stop at the first floor, going to clean up the blood and, well, somehow get rid of the corpses. He doesn't know how yet, but
Okay.
Burn them! Burn them!
yeah, no. I learned my lesson.
So you're gonna go ahead and take a stop at the first floor and
Yes.
start to open up the room that leads to the grisly scene.
Yes.
Okay, you're more than welcome to do so, as Derigo is simply going to want you to do so. He goes to the top of the stairs, looks down, and says, Harold thinks that there might be people around here somewhere. Could you keep an eye out?
Yeah, sure. Next time, I don't know, send a message before start running downstairs.
Fair enough.
And
Harold.
he will go back and
Yes.
Harold, you go ahead and enter the grisly site again. You see the bodies piled up in the corner. You see the one body on the bed. You see the family that clutched each other together towards the final bits of their existence, and you see the lone body with a shotgun propped up against its mouth.
Okay. I've seen this before. I knew what was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Harold will open the door and just crack open the window, just like an inch or so at least a little bit of fresh air comes through. So
Go
the
ahead.
smell goes a little bit away.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and crack open the door, and you feel that same familiar chill, but there's also something else underlying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very strong smell.
Mm-hmm.
Strong smell of rotten meat.
Yeah.
It's coming into the room. It seems to go ahead and fill it quite utterly.
Mm-hmm. Harold will go to his supplies and grab a one of those paper mouth masks,
Mm-hmm.
just to cover his mouth, just in case. It probably won't help much, but better safe than sorry at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll start cleaning.
Gonna start cleaning. Describe what you want to tackle first. Do you want to tackle the father?
First
Do you want to tackle the
floor,
family? Or do
actually.
you want to tackle the floor?
The floor.
Okay.
Because the blood is actually going into other rooms, and that can carry disease already. So if you close the door, right? I'll start, take a bucket, fill it with water, put some solvent or whatever in there, and then start cleaning.
All right. Do we have medicine or do we have science to help us out with this one?
We have absolutely none of the two.
you go ahead and look into your own cleaning supplies. You look at the solvents. You look at the bloody and utterly destroyed mess, and you quickly come to the assumption that if you try anything, you're going to do something terrible.
Yeah. I yell downstairs, anyone know how to clean?
You get a pipe voice from Jericho, but Jericho also relates the message down. Okay, Cecil's shaking his head.
As Cecil lived on a temple. Temples are never clean. Leave there
Harold
be.
was 2, that's the problem. He always got the stuff given to him that he's supposed to use. So,
Busy hammering.
yeah.
Jericho will hear the request for information. Just say, "Okay, guys, I got it. I'll handle it." Okay.
There is one small answer now that I remember. Cleaning. Cleaning is the few steps towards medicine one. So he will, Cecil will just reply, alcohol, lots and lots of alcohol everywhere.
Right.
Drunk.
Pure alcohol or with water?
Don't know. Try both, maybe.
Weirdest answer
I'll
you've
mix
ever
it with
been.
water first, just in case. And Harold will make a 50-50 mix of alcohol and water.
Jericho will go ahead and help you in this particular endeavor. Right. We have some cleaning solutions. Before we do that, we need to go ahead and wrap these people up so they don't disturb the scene anymore. And Jericho will proceed to produce a few giant, heavy black trash bags.
All right. Gloves, obviously, because, you know.
Oh yes, gloves, mask,
Yeah.
all the sanitary equipment possible as Jericho and Harold become Viscera cleanup crew for quite a few number of minutes as they
Yeah.
proceed to try to clean up the grisly scene as much as possible, being as respectful as possible to the dead, or at least in Jericho's mind. The Akashi Brotherhood might think it a little bit distasteful what he's doing, just shoving them into body bags, or at least laying them into it.
Well, at this point, it's more out of necessity than anything else. He'll pay his respects later when they're not in mortal danger.
Alright, fair enough. Doesn't take too long before zip, 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 zip. The bodies are going ahead and being placed in what they've designated the dead body pile next to the wardrobe.
Yeah. With zip ties. Closed with zip ties.
Oh yeah.
Just in case. And yeah, then bucket with water and alcohol.
Oh yes, yes, yes. This will all take actually quite a number of minutes with Jericho helping you out with the finer points of the cleaning solution, pretty much giving you the right kind of mixtures, the right kind of amounts as, again, the people downstairs can go ahead and try again to patch this place up.
So another craft throw?
Yep.
Oh shit. No successes this time.
Yay, I got one.
Okay, okay. It takes you quite a number of minutes. You start to exhaust yourself. You see Gabriel not quite being as attentive as he could be with his manners. Perhaps these muscles are just, slowly starting to build up lactic acid. Perhaps he's just getting bored with the entire affair. But you go ahead and make much more progress fortifying the first floor. And in fact, you would think, maybe a few more minutes of this work would do it, but for now you can go ahead and take a rest. As you see, Jericho and Harold hauling what seems to be plastic, giant black trash bags full of what seems to be human forms from upstairs and placing them in the body pile just before they go ahead and label such Jane Does and John Does and relative ages of such.
What are we going to do with the poor, unfortunately diseases?
We are gonna take them with us. We cannot dispose of them here, obviously.
We cannot take them to the chantry.
Well, what do you want to do? We can't leave them here.
He will look at Jericho. You know what Thane would do? You know what Remy would do to us if we bring dead bodies from other dimensions to the chantry?
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'll go ahead and divide my time between the garden and this place. I can set up a little bit of a morgue here.
All right,
Maybe
if you want to do that.
fire.
No fire. Don't worry.
Right. It didn't work last time.
Yes.
I'll be the caretaker. I'll be the funeral person. I'll go ahead and take care of the bodies. Damn.
Hey, I was a Undertaker apprentice. I can help you with that.
Oh, awesome. Yes, you can. Yes, you can help me with this.
Be respectful, but we need to get rid of them. We don't want another walking around corpse killing us or trying to kill us.
Agreed. So for the time being, the door of this place is a wooden door, a wooden floor. I mean.
Yes. Kunk.
Oh, good God.
The back door that you had recently boarded up. You hear some banging on the other side of it. Kunk.
Well, we got a guess.
Shit. Gabriel pulls out his pistol.
Yep, knife on hand. I will do something because I was warned, because thanks to Jericho, to look for life signs. So, hand over the door, the wooden plank, and I will try and sense life on the other side.
Oh, yeah?
2 successes. 2 amazing successes, I must say.
Well, whatever it is on the other side of that door isn't full of life.
Okay, but at least there are some signs, so it's not gas mask, man.
Kink, 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 as the form continues to beat on the other side of that door.
How
It doesn't seem to be making
many?
much progress, but it's definitely a lot of energy behind those blows.
How many little life signs can I pick up?
The life signs that you can pick up are all within the room you are in.
Oh, fuck! More of those undead bastards.
Jericho will simply go ahead and look towards the stairs and says, Gabriel, go ahead. Look at what we're facing.
And Gabriel will go up the stairs and look for a window overlooking the side and
Okay.
try to peek out without getting spotted.
Alright. If you have Dex Stealth, I suggest you roll it right now.
Okay, let me check how much stuff we want. And I'm wearing armor, so there's a penalty for this. I have 1 success.
Okay. More than enough. You go ahead and you make your stealthy way to the second floor where you have a open window. And when you look at the scene, back alley is full of debris. It's full of trash. You again smell that. Actually, for you this is new. You smell rotten flesh. You smell rotten meat. You smell meat that has been laying on the ground for quite a number of minutes. And what you see outside is things that were once people, at least. You see them. They look humanoid. They are ambulatory. They have 2 arms, 2 legs, or at least some of them have 2 arms. You see and you look through them. Some of them are wearing clothes. Some of them are wearing clothes that have been torn in two. Some of them are working dress shirts that have been torn to pieces. Some of them are wearing plaid skirts that have gone to bed and been feathered or frayed towards the end of it. And you go ahead and you see that some of these people, their faces are just torn off or bitten off or just mauled indiscriminately. You see the muscle and the bone just underneath it. You see that some of them are bleeding quite openly before your very eyes as their clothes are stained with this red liquid. And by all accounts, you could number them about 3 or 4 in total. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to tell, but with your acute senses, you can tell a little bit more, actually. The bones and the muscles, they shouldn't be working right now, but they are.
Right. And Gabriel will go back and say, basically, we have a bunch of zombies.
No fun.
Okay. How are we going to handle them?
Well, you're the death mages.
He has a pointer.
My suggestion? Take them one at a time.
Well, funnel them through the door, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Follow them through the door. Take them down one at a time. Hopefully they don't rush you. Take them down as silently as possible. They're already making and you definitely hear more banging, more moaning outside.
Okay. Azazel will just sit down a second, cross his fingers, and will start murmuring. He will make himself a little bit more difficult to hit.
Once again, Harold will
One
murmur a
success.
prayer
Shit.
to increase his soak rolls with a kinetic shield.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
I will extend it once more.
1 success. And yeah, keep casting, obviously.
Maybe
2 successes. So
1
if it
scene,
would be
2 successes. So
1 scene, 1 success on my case.
Mm-hmm. What is Gabriel Hunt doing?
Gabriel said maybe I should go up and shoot at them from the window, or is that a bad idea? I'm still new to this. I'm used to sitting in the control room and look at security camera footage.
Jericho will go ahead. Let's not bring in more attention than we really need to. No noise, people. And again, you hear the infernal pounding at the door as Ethan. You go ahead and briefly hop back to you. Ethan.
Hello.
You had been previously contacted by Jericho to come to this particular address, at least, and to meet with a Mr. Thing. You find yourself in front of what seems to be a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Quick roll for what he's been doing while I was gone. Hey, success. Okay, Ethan is going to, I don't know, go to wherever this room or storage unit or whatever it is that he's been directed to.
You, my good sir, if you were contacted by Jericho, you would definitely go to what amounts to a hotel room within Manhattan proper. And if you approach said door, you will definitely be stopped before by a rather small and long-nosed gentleman. He looks at you with quite beady eyes from just from beyond a nose and simply asks you for your business.
Looking for Jericho?
Mm-hmm. He goes in and looks at you again. Part of the club.
Yeah, something like that.
Assurances
Assurances?
that you're a part of the club.
How am I supposed to assure that to you?
If you're asking that question, you're obviously not a part of the club.
Ethan's going to sort of look at the guy, raise a brow. Look, he asked me to come here to help him with something. Are you going to let me in or not?
I can try to get in touch with him if you'll just wait a simple moment.
Yeah, sure.
Takes him a small amount of time before he goes ahead and comes back to you. And he simply looks at you with a long, extended nose and says, do you have the token?
Token?
Token.
I guess not, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
So you don't have the token. You don't have what Jericho gave you.
He looks at the guy kind of confused, like, he didn't give me anything. He flips open his phone and shows him Jericho's number, which is saved to it. He gave me that.
The studio gentleman goes ahead and brushes it aside and says, that's not my concern. My only concern was whether or not you had the token that he gave you. I would have gave you access.
He's going to try to kind of listen to this, what this guy is thinking, to figure out what the hell this token is that he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, success.
Okay. With your ability in the mind sphere, you go ahead and read just the surface impressions from this particular individual. He seems rather blank at the moment. When he goes ahead and repeats the words token every so often, he seems to think of something very, very small, something very, very simple, something that you would probably have overlooked if you weren't paying attention.
Ethan sort of pats himself down, like he's trying to think of what this could possibly be.
Go ahead and roll wits.
Okay. Hey.
Jericho gave you what he called a lucky penny yesterday.
And Ethan threw the lucky penny away in a sacrifice.
That's unfortunate, as the man will just go ahead and simply say, perhaps tomorrow you have the token. As for now, I'm going to have to ask you to shove along.
Ethan sort of gestures like, just a second. And he reaches into his pocket and he produces another penny. Not the same penny, but a penny.
Go ahead and roll me a bluff roll. You cab. The guy's not buying it, unfortunately.
Ethan just sort of throws his hands up like, ah, marches back down the hall and out of the building. Ethan's going to...
Sorry, man.
What's that?
I said, sorry, man.
Carry on.
All right. We see, unfortunately, Ethan being dejectedly thrown out as we return back to the Dark World. As, yes, something very, very bad is happening. From beyond the doors, the nails and the wooden boards continue to rattle and rattle. They continue to work themselves out of their carefully hammered places, and after a little bit, they start to shove out of the wall as the doors proceeds to bash open just a tiny little bit. What are we doing?
Oh, for fuck's sakes. I'm looking at the man with the silence gun.
At this point, Harold will just walk over to the door and through the crack just stab his staff through.
You can definitely do so. You do so. You go ahead and swipe at the incoming horde, one of which you, and I'm going to do this a little bit more narratively, simply because we're cut for time. You go ahead and sweep across the zombies, the dead things, the rotting corpses' legs. You go ahead and sweep them up their feet. Some of them fall. Some of them go ahead and retain their footing. But you definitely distract them just for a tiny...
Awesome.
Hello?
You disconnected there for a second.
Okay. Gabriel Hunt, what are we doing?
Well, Gabriel was told not to shoot things out of the window, so he's standing there waiting for instructions.
Okay, Cecil, what are we doing?
Yeah. Cecil will be standing behind Harold with his knife drawn because his revolver does not have a silencer, and he will not shoot anything. He's going for close quarters at the moment, waiting for them.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Bam. Okay. After a long while of beating on the doors, after getting themselves tripped up quite a bit, finally these walkers go ahead and push into the door. Go ahead and push into the door to cause a little bit of the boards and handles to just pry through, ruining a few bits of your work. They go ahead and start to walk in, and the first target of opportunity happens to be Harold over there. And then we'll see to try to grab the Akashi Brotherhood, try to grapple him, try to bring him to the ground, and as you look at their faces, you see that their faces are completely screwed up.
Right.
What you would think was a face was again the skull, again the muscle, but on the patches of flesh that isn't broken up in such a disgusting manner, you see tattoos on every single one of these people. And these aren't just regular tattoos of ink, there's scarration there as well. You see some of them have actually had bumps protruding out of their heads and awfully disgusting mounds as it goes ahead and try to all swarm you at the same time. What is Harold doing?
Harold will be dodging and diving and juking and jiving.
Alright, you dodge, duke, and jive as the zombies cannot make a right amount of purchase on you. You go ahead and scoot away from the door, leaving plenty of room for the other two to go ahead and make their actions.
Oh yeah, as I said, we'll start stabbing and cutting and chopping.
And Gabriel?
Gabriel will move in such a way that none of his allies is in his line of fire.
Good man.
and he remembers from various movies that you shoot zombies in the head.
Fair enough.
So he'll try to shoot one in the head.
In the same time, I will try to cut something or someone.
Yeah.
So, are we doing purely narratively or do I roll some?
Oh, it's narrative. Gabriel Hunt, since you're able to go ahead and with a ranged attack, you shoot first. You go ahead and shoot one poor, disgusting female soul. Her head is completely off. You see the brain matter as well as viscous fluid start to flow freely out of that head wound. Part of her skull is just completely missing, as from the bullet wound and the exit wound, in fact, comes this viscous black bile that proceeds to coat her neck as well as her shoulders, where it releases yet another round of that rotting flesh smell. It smells a little bit like tar, actually. As Cecil, you go ahead and rip into another one, your knife making contact with flesh and bone as you proceed to cut yet another one of these poor, unfortunate souls down to size. Every so often, you'll hear a slight whimper or a creak or a moan from these unfortunate creatures that are all scrambling towards Harold, trying to grab at him. You cut and you shoot and you dodge, and before long, the assailants are dispatched. Although, y'all are more worse for wear. Y'all are covered in this black bile. Y'all are covered in the memories of these haunted eyes just looking at you with frenzied hatred and violence.
Cecil will go to his duffel bag of death, bring out the bottle of alcohol, open it, glug 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 glug.
Harold will do something similar. However, he will put a cloth between himself and the bottle, so he puts the alcohol on the cloth and then wipes it off on him. Not wanting to be covered in alcohol and set on fire at a later date.
Hey, it disappears in contact with the air. It's isopropylic alcohol.
Gabriel.
Right, fair enough. You guys cleaned it up rather well.
I'm already starting to get tired of this place.
Yeah, we should burn the fucking wardrobe.
No, we won't.
This place is indefensible. They will keep fucking coming. We need an army of mages.
Well,
It isn't indefendable. We can work on this place a little bit more to make it a little bit more fortified, but in Herald, you see that you aren't quite as lucky as you thought you were. Some of your robes are actually a little bit damaged, as you see that you may have gotten a little bit more bruised than you thought. It's the adrenaline that's slowly taking away from you, but you start to feel it a little bit more.
Alright.
And that wound on your leg, that bite wound, seems to flare up.
Son of a bitch. Alright. Tell you what, we'll board up the door here and we'll come back another day. This is tiring.
Yeah,
But we
agreed.
have to help the people here.
Oh, so that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. I'm trying to get a interspatial summer house.
As well as me.
Gabriel stares blankly at the death mages and their idea of a summer house. But then he thinks to himself, well, death mages, okay, fine.
The congregated party goes ahead and sees Harold make his goodbyes and then leave via the wardrobe as Jericho looks to the two remaining and say, well, we can call it a day here, or we can try to explore outside a little bit.
I'm still all fired up, so... And he will grab the shotgun.
No.
No, sorry. He will grab the knife. Want to take a little...
Yeah, it could be fun.
I don't want to be a party pooper, but I'm somewhat worried about what might happen outside.
Oh, you will be fine. We will protect you. Don't worry, Gabriel.
Yeah.
Gabriel glances towards the wardrobe where Harold went.
You want to become a mage, don't you?
Yes.
Well, this is part of
Well,
you know
it's
what we
going to.
normally see.
Well, it would fine. Actually, no. No. It's going to be difficult for me to become a mage if I die.
Actually, it becomes relatively easy.
Yeah, we both have died prior to this.
Look, I'm not one of you guys. I'm with the Hermetic Order, okay? We don't generally die in order to become mages. At least no one, or either that or someone has been holding out the truth on me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I really don't think this is wise.
Alright, it's up to you. You're not one of our apprentices.
Yeah, I think I'll just follow Harold, see how he's doing.
Sure. Good luck. We can catch you later.
Yeah, well, good luck to you too. And Gabriel will go to the border because he's no longer interested in staying here.
Remember, knock, 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 knock.
I always remember. Or at least Gabriel always remembers. I don't.
Alright, fair enough. Gabriel goes ahead and enters the wardrobe and he disappears from the dark world.
So, it's only you and me now, Jericho.
Yep. It should be.
So, we are going to death mage it up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna death mage it up. Outside, the cool breeze continues to blow inward, chilling Jericho and Asazel to the very, very bones. As Jericho says, we should have brought warmer clothing.
He will show that his suit, his leather coat is kind of threaded on the inside, so it's warmer, but he will just close it up.
Alright. Jericho and Asazel, go ahead and venture off into this white wonderland of terror.
I'm activating my arcane.
Yeah, fair enough. Outside, the city streets are colder, as you would expect, but they're also a lot more quiet. You hear that same eerie, ethereal, intangible quiet that pervades throughout the entire scene. You see from up the street little stoops of the little other apartments and little other buildings, and down the street you definitely see the same kind of repeating pattern over and over again. You look up at these street lights that seem to be struggling to stay on, which is a sign of good and a sign of bad. Any type of knowledge of forces and or craft technology will go ahead and ping you to the idea that whatever is charging these lights seems to still be working, but doesn't seem to be working as strong as it ought to. Interestingly enough, on the street there are tracks. They're the same kind of tracks that you saw, or at least Harold saw earlier. You're able to go ahead and look at it yourself. There are bipedal tracks. There are definitely tracks of some type of body sliding on top of another body. And for some reason or another, there seem to be tracks of a vehicle as well.
Okay, I will kneel and try to investigate these tracks. So perception investigation?
Yep.
Oh, that's one success.
One success? Okay. You're able to go ahead and look at the tracks. And you go ahead and estimate whereabouts they might have come from. And they seem to be leading off into a more easterly or southeasterly direction. They seem to follow the this particular street down it.
Well, they went over there, and he points to the direction. Want to follow?
Jericho is currently clutching himself and his coat together very, very tightly as he says, "Okay, maybe. A little hike. If we catch up to them, great. If we don't, awesome as well."
Yeah. Are you sure you're fine? You don't want to go back for warmer clothes?
I might. And this would be actually a really good excuse to get Rick back in if we can.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back, let's get warmer clothes, and let's jump back.
Sounds good.
They will go back to the house, I believe.
They go ahead and make their way back into the furniture store and back into the wardrobe, phase themselves from one world to the next, making sure that both the entrance to the front and the back of the furniture store are closely secured, as Jericho is currently getting pinged. He's getting pinged by one of the manservants of the chantry, who tells him some information. He goes, "Okay, 1 second." He goes ahead and flips his phone on, proceeds to call somebody who had recently came into the chantry.
I think we will just go to his room and take warmer clothes.
Needs a fan up in this bitch bed.
Right. Calling you.
Hello again.
Hello again.
You get a call from Jericho.
All right, Ethan answers the phone. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Go back.
Yeah, all right. Ethan does a little U-turn, heads back.
This time you're greeted by the same long-nosed man, but you're also greeted with the visage of Jericho standing there as well, as he just goes ahead and says, "Come with me."
Ethan just sort of grins smugly at the weird nose guy and follows Jericho.
And Jericho will lead you deeper into the hotel room. And what you see here is it's particularly interesting. You go ahead and walk further and further into this establishment. By the time you reach your final destination, you see that a plethora of men are standing there. They seem all unusually well armed for standing there in the hotel room, and they seem to all be standing in regimented lines towards this particular room. And as you travel further, and you see different ammo drops, depot drops of ammunition, you see barbed wire, and you see just what seems to be a standstill siege as Jericho just simply walks past the rest of them.
Ethan's just keeps following, kind of cutting glances at all the people and ammunition, like, what the fuck is going on?
Jericho will go ahead and enter the room and actually go to his closet. The closet with all of his clothes in it is currently covered by, again, more barbed wire, because the nobody bothered to tell them which one was the actual dangerous wardrobe. He opens it up, cutting himself on some wire, goes and gets some warmer winter attire, and he'll go ahead and pass Ethan a heavy jacket as well.
Ethan will take the jacket and just sort of look at the jacket, then look up to Jericho like, what's this for?
Oh, it got a little colder on the other side, much colder than we were expecting, so we decided to backtrack a little bit and get some warmer clothing. Azazel should be here shortly.
And when they say his name, Azazel enters with a long coat. Very good long coat, very good quality, very, well, warm, and another duffel bag of death.
Hmm? Fair enough. And since this scene seems to be running a bit long, and it'd be better for us to try to cut this up a little bit, we can go ahead and end the scene with Jericho going ahead and leading the charge back into the Dark World with his own magical murder bag and other supplies, with Azazel being equally as armed up with survival weaponry and survival tools. And Ethan, what is Ethan carrying?
Ethan's got pretty much whatever he always has and whatever you happen to give him.
They go ahead and give you yet another bag of survival equipment, as we can pretty much end the scene there, with the trio again disappearing into the wardrobe to Dark Narnia, again to see if they can't travel further, explore more. And we will catch you all next time. Cheerio!